Yeah, I'm so scared of Kroy though.
Yep, same way we came in.
Are we good?
Yeah, sorry, I know, I'm just like hovering.
Officers, you do not have the authority to be in my home. Officer, you do not have the authority to be in my home. Officer, you do not have the authority to be in my home. You do not have the authority to be in my home. I did not give you permission to come in my home. Before you get put in trouble.
Is she gone?
You're not to get hit. Sir, I did not give you authorization to be in my home.
You're going to get put in court. Listen to me.
I did not give you authorization. I know my rights. I know my rights.
Who's been hitting who?
Nobody there. I just know my mom. Nobody. It's crazy. Like, I'm so scared for how he behaves. Like, this is not my husband. So in my mind, it's like, we can get you out. We can figure this out. But he doesn't have a problem, you know. So like, I have to leave. My kids are not.
Do you have a place to go tonight?
I don't. I'll go get a hotel room. I had to last week as well.
Okay. But nothing
But I was
physical?
screaming like, help me, help me. My other daughter called, my older one. And
Let me just touch. I talked to the kids already, and I'm just touching bases here.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure I get all the sides. Because like I told you last time, there's 3 sides. Your side, Kroy's side, and God's side. I've told you that, and I was fair last time, was I not?
Yes, very.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
I'm
you're
like
going to get a
so
hotel
embarrassed. Yes.
Okay. Hang tight with this officer, okay?
Don't tell him I'm getting a hotel.
No, I'm not going to tell him.
I'm going to stay somewhere else tonight.
You know how he is.
Don't tell him.
This is going to be, you know how it is. It's going to be like last time where there's going to be some arguing, there's going to be some yelling, so just ignore all that.
Your body, these reports that come out and all of this stuff is just like too much for my kids. Too much. Like, this is not the person that I married.
It's difficult when that happens in marriages.
I think like
it's a
he
tough
definitely has
situation.
CT.
Right.
He's 9 years old.
Right.
Like, they don't need, like, how do you not come down? I'm like, our kids are home, please stop.
Yeah.
He just can't stop.
It's a lot. I imagine.
How do you
it's
not
a lot.
stop?
What's up with the towel?
Stuff in the house, and I just had it on me. OCD, I guess. You wouldn't have lasted a day in this house. I told you, we're arguing because of our life, and you don't even need to be here. You're still asking questions. I don't want to answer them.
All right, well, can you just have a seat then?
No, I don't need to.
Yeah, you do. You need to calm down.
Hold up.
I don't need to hold up. You guys don't even need to be here.
Well, we got called.
Nobody called you.
We got called.
Nobody called you. Nobody called you.
I'm going to go talk to Ms. Biermann.
I have the authority to be in my home.
You're going to go with him. All right, come on, bro.
I was not clear what was going on. Now I am. Come on, let's go. We're going to do stuff outside.
No, I'm not going to leave him with my children.
Okay. Well, my officers, and they got body cams on.
No.
They'll be fine.
No.
So.
What can we do to mitigate the situation tonight? Okay, so you're not willing to go and get a place or anything like that again tonight? Okay.
There's nothing we can do. Unless she goes and admits herself somewhere, there ain't nothing we can do.
Okay. Well, then hang tight with these 2 officers, all right? Or hang tight with Officer Kroy.
His dad said, no, you're not going anywhere. And so he's crying right now. It's just too much. He's mentally ill, like, for real. Like, for real.
Are you hurt in any way?
No, I just, in my ear, just screaming like a crazy person for hours.
When did this all start?
This morning, when I tried to leave, he stood in front of my car, banged on my glass. I was just scared the shit out of me when I was
Why was he doing that? Why wouldn't he let you leave?
He never wants me to leave. I've been staying in the master, and he's down in the nanny's room.
Okay, we've got a lot of body cam footage to watch this weekend because boy, did God come through. He answered prayers. I was able to pay for, on December 15, 2023, all 4 body cam videos from the home of Kim, Zolciak, and Kroy Biermann when cops responded right before Thanksgiving. It was Monday, November 20th, and previously, in the previous video, we saw a little sneak peek where that neighbor must have been walking by, and you guys were correct. You guys who noticed it looked like Kroy was following Kim around yelling. And now we get to see the aftermath because it kept happening well into the evening to the point where one of the kids called 911 and 4 officers responded. So we are going to watch eventually all 4 videos. I've only watched 2 videos thus far. I didn't want to get overwhelmed. I didn't want to overwhelm you guys because it's a lot of footage. The first 2 body cam videos, including the first officer who responds that night and sees Kroy going manic, that's what we're going to watch first. And then we will follow up and watch what I'm calling body cam number 2. That is a female officer who spends a little time talking with Kim, and she kind of acts as backup when Kroy is going a little crazy. And then the final 2 videos, which I haven't even watched yet, I'm going to watch those and I'll put those in a separate video.
Yeah, do we know if the parents are separated or not?
For now, if you want to watch these whole first 2 videos uninterrupted without commentary or anything, I put the links to Patreon below. My Patreon viewers were able to watch those starting last night. Unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way you look at it for YouTube, I have to add commentary and interject and everything. I still take out the curse words on YouTube. Despite what YouTube says, there is a way that I have learned through experience they like you to do things. So eventually you'll get to see them. You can watch them all here free with me jabbering in between. A lot of you guys like that too because we want to talk and discuss and chit chat about what we're seeing, but I'm also offering people the option to watch it over there raw. Check the links below. So God bless the Milton Police Department and the Alpharetta, Georgia Police Department, all of them down there. They were able to turn these videos around, redact the faces of the kids and everything they needed to redact and get it back to me the same day I paid for all of them. They need to be commended because the way this police department, as you'll watch, handles Kroy and his outrageous mood. I know some people are Team Kroy, some people are Team Kim. I'm Team Jesus. I'm looking for the truth, which lies somewhere in the middle. But these body cam videos can be used as a study for police departments on how to de-escalate, how not to harm someone, because Kroy gave them time and time again reasonable cause to take him in, to arrest him, or even take him down, as you'll see. So first, let's talk about this very first officer on the scene. The raw body cam footage shows him literally driving.
Does the child know how the mother is leaving?
Lights blaring, sirens blaring. This isn't like the previous body cam videos we watched, where they kind of meander and saunter up to the home. It's more casual. No, on this night, this is an emergency because the cops are being told that one of the kids called and said, look, there's some hitting going on. They think there's something physical going on. They think that Kim and Kroy are in the middle of combating each other or that Kroy is beating on Kim. That's why they are rushing to the scene. Now, since there's some parts where nothing's going on and there's no audio, I will talk during that point. But if there's anything interesting happening and audio comes up, I'll let you hear that part. But I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long. So the Milton Police Department wrote up an incident investigation report and they gave it to me. The narrative says that it was November 20th. It was 1904 hours. So that's about 7:04 p.m. when Officer Stafford responded to the Manor Bridge drive home. Now, I don't think he was the first one on scene. In fact, he's not. The cops will talk about that. I don't know the officer's name who's first on scene. They don't give us the file naming convention that I looked for where you can tell which officer's video is whose. And as you guys have noticed, they don't put the timestamps or dates on anything like that on their body cam videos. Not all police departments will come with that axon, date and timestamp and everything on them.
Hey, police!
Hi.
Come here, Mr. Biermann. Biermann,
Yes.
come talk to me. What's going on?
It's just a bunch of nonsense.
All right, come talk to me. Ma'am, stay right there. What's going on tonight?
We're just having an argument
About what?
about our fucking life.
Okay, what happened? Why?
It's our life. It's destroyed.
But, okay, what started the argument?
Her inability to solve problems.
Okay,
or
come
address them
over
or
here.
do anything.
Come over here.
Why?
Because I want to talk to you away from her. I don't want her to start screaming at you and have a whole argument.
It's nothing but an act. It's all a bunch of bullshit.
What is?
Everything she does.
Okay, what did she do tonight?
Everything. Everything. Dude, I can't, I'm not going to do this. Because this right here does nothing but fuel her bullshit. I'm not doing this. This is narcissistic behavior. I'm not doing this.
I'm just trying to figure out what the
There's
argument
nothing to do. You shouldn't even be here. Who called you?
Your kids.
What kid?
You have kids? I don't know. Whoever's in the house. So
We've been outside this whole time.
What was the argument about?
Our life. Our life.
Okay,
And it's
so
f***ing destroyed.
why is it getting so heated?
Because our life is destroyed. What don't you understand? There's no money. There's no house. We're getting divorced one day and we're not the next.
Okay.
She's f***ing other men. What do you want?
Just calm down.
Calm down, but I don't have a f***ing life. And I don't have somebody who won't listen to me.
Calm down.
Oh, calm down. You want to live this mother...
Look,
you wouldn't have lasted
calm
for
down.
a year. You wouldn't have lasted a day in this f***ing house. I told you. We're arguing because of our f***ing life, and you don't even need to be here. You're still asking questions. I don't want to f***ing answer them.
All right, well, can you just have a seat then?
No, I don't need to.
Yeah, you do. You need to calm down.
Hold up. Hold up.
I don't need to hold up. You guys don't even need to be here.
Well, we got called.
Nobody called you.
We got called.
Nobody called you.
That's the reference you want.
Nobody called you.
I'm going to go talk to Ms. Biermann.
So they were called to the home because of a domestic disturbance. Now this is why, while they're racing there, the dispatcher tells one of the cops that the kid says the dad was hitting the mom. And eventually the cops are going to talk to the kids. Of course, they're redacted. We can't see their faces, but it's going to be an interesting talk when we get to that point. It's almost as if the kids are afraid, of course, excited, and they're talking all at once. And perhaps they have been coached, because you will hear one kid continually say the same thing and deny that anyone put hands on each other. Upon arrival, one officer notices Kroy standing in the driveway. They've been there before. They've been there many times. If you need to watch the podcast, click the podcast link below. You can catch up on all these videos. This is one that's really going viral because this is the first time we've seen Kroy just explode. In the other videos, he's tried to keep it under wraps. You can tell the emotions are simmering. He's seething. Kim tells us certain ways about how he's acting, but he's never displayed it like this before. Now, I should say, sorry if you don't know who these people are, Kroy Biermann, he used to play for the NFL. He got cut, I believe, 7 years ago, so he had a lucrative career. I think about $15 million salary over the course of his career, or contract, or he's made millions. He was a young man, single, no kids. He met Kim Zolciak. She was starring on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's a little bit older than him. When she met him, she already had 2 daughters from previous relationships, and yeah, it's a wild story, but they apparently fell in love. They got married. They had 4 more kids together. Kroy adopted her 2 older children. They had their own reality show spinoff, Don't Be Tardy for the Party. Big spending, nice things, huge home. It's a couple that many people rooted for, but Kroy's parents, they did not like Kim. They could see this kind of stuff coming, so he kind of cut off his family to be with her. That's another reason Kroy is likely so irate. The cop is trying to calm down Kroy. He's trying to get to details, what happened, and Kroy is being very vague. Who called you? What are you doing here? Everything's wrong. Her inability to solve problems. And the cop is trying to say, okay, look, what started this today? The cop said he tried to gain a statement from Kroy, but Kroy was very combative. And yes, yes, I agree with that statement. While they were still en route, the cop is asking, do we know if the parents are separated or not? And at first I thought he meant, are they, separated? Has this marriage been separated yet? But I see what he means. Like he's thinking, have they been physically separated yet? And we can't hear what dispatch is telling him. He's just saying, okay, this original body cam footage for video number 1 was 38 minutes long and 23 seconds. Video number 2 is 29 minutes long and 15 seconds. And with my different interjections and overlaying, this video in total here might end up being an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes. That's why I'm putting the next 2 videos in a different video. The officer is also asking on the way, does the child know if the mother's leaving? So before he even gets there, he's trying to figure out what's the state of this. Are they still actively engaged in hitting one another? Is Kroy hitting Kim? Is Kim trying to race out of there? What's happening? There's a different report. There's a 5-page Alpharetta police report. That one says the date and time received of the call was 1809. So that would be 609. So it's either 609 or 709 p.m. when this whole thing popped off with police. And of course, they've redacted some things because it involves juveniles. But when this officer makes it there, he parks outside and the gate is open and you hear him hustling. You can already hear Kroy yelling. At certain points, you can hear Kim yelling too. The officer hustles. He makes it in there over to Kroy and he's calling out, Mr. Biermann, Mr. Biermann. His first rule of thumb, of course, get these two separated. He doesn't even have his backup there, right there. He just has himself and the Lord because he knows Kroy has guns somewhere in that house, and so it's a volatile situation with Kroy acting so unhinged. So that's when Kroy really starts ranting again. He's very vague. Everything, our whole lives are destroyed. He's like telling the officer, looking at the officer like he's the stupid one, like, don't you know, our house, basically losing their house, all the bills. He goes into a lot of stuff. But then the coup de grace is, whoa, she's effing other men. Now, whoa, that is the line that I think blew everyone away. And that's one reason it's going viral, even if people who don't know who this couple is. This is the first accusations, the time I've heard him voice concerns about her potentially cheating. We've gone over in previous videos how Kim allegedly may have gotten a little close with Chet Hanks. Chet Hanks is the son of Tom Hanks, and they spent time together on that surreal life reality show they did. That's coming out soon in a couple of months. But it's interesting that Kroy says she's effing other men. That doesn't make it true, of course, but it's interesting that he didn't say she's messing around with Chet or she's messing around with one man. He's talking about she's effing other men, plural. Where did he get that from? And it also conflicts with what Kim has told cops in previous body cam videos. Also, in this coming up, Kim is going to give her opinion about these body cam videos we are all watching and soaking up, and viewers really want to see. Kim has told cops in previous videos, we're just not getting along, basically. None of us are cheating. She kept saying it over and over. I'm thinking, doth thou protest too much? Methinks maybe. Because she kept saying, neither one of us are cheating. It's not about cheating. It's not about cheating. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But Kim probably knows in the state of Georgia, you can have fault divorces. Look at Lindsay Shiver, the Bahama mama, caught cheating with proof, according to her husband. Therefore, no alimony. So Kim knows cheating in Georgia most likely has detrimental effects on finances. So that's one reason to really say there's no cheating, no cheating. But the cop is telling Kroy, look, one of your kids called the cops. Which kid? And the cop's like, I don't know. One of your kids, who's in your house. And Kroy is going off. He's telling the cops, like, you want to live here? You couldn't last a year. You couldn't last a day.
What's going on, Mr. Biermann?
He's just been screaming at me for like 2 hours, like a crazy person.
Okay. What was the argument? Why were y'all arguing?
Because I just said, I just want to get a divorce. Like, I just want this to be over. He wouldn't let me leave this morning. The gate, is broke or whatever, so you have to, manually open it. He jumped in front of my car. I have all these videos. He's blocking me from leaving. He just started yelling. I said, Kroy, I have a phone call at 5:30. I can't do this right now. I'm sorry, like my nose is running.
It's fine.
And then I left. Finally got out of the gate, and I was walking in my robe down the street, and I was like yelling for help to my neighbors, like, please, somebody help me. He's screaming in my ear, grabbing my robe, like the back hoodie of my robe, and I mentally, like, and physically and emotionally could not take this any longer. My kids, he's like, get out of the house. If I go like walk in, he kicks the kids out. And then if I come outside, he's like, get inside the house. My son's like, Mom, please take me to my friends. His dad said, no, you're not going anywhere. And so he's crying right now. It's just too much. He's mentally ill, like for real. Like for real.
Are you hurt in any way?
No, I just in my ear just screaming like a crazy person for hours.
When did this all start?
This morning when I tried to leave, he stood in front of my car, banged on my fucking glass. I was just scared the shit out of me when I was
Why was he doing that? Why wouldn't he let you leave?
He never wants me to leave. I've been staying in the master, and he's down in the nanny's room downstairs, and I just live my life like I don't bother him, I don't mess around with him. He just can't take it.
So, this morning around what time?
11:30.
Around 11:30?
I had a hair appointment at 12 hours. I'm hiding in my car, but he stuck his arm through my window so that the window stopped going up.
This morning he did that?
No, just now. Like I was putting my window up. I was talking to my son right here, and then he came over and stuck his arm through my window. So the window that's why it's down. Otherwise, I would not have my window down with this crazy person. But this is the only place I feel safe, and if I can get him to calm down, I can try to leave. This is why my car's back, and I never do this. Today I did this when I got home from my hair appointment, so I can like.
So around 11 a.m.
What is he doing?
He's talking to an officer.
Oh, he's yelling something.
I'm around the corner in the driveway. Stay right there. No, she's here.
Sir, I did not give you authorization to be in my home.
You're gonna get put, Kroy, listen to me very
I
clearly.
did not give you authorization. I know my rights.
Stop talking.
I know my rights.
Okay, then stop talking if you know your rights. I'm gonna tell you your rights, I'm gonna inform you your rights. We're here for a lawful reason. To investigate a domestic violence situation.
Right, where the person is
Your
outside.
kids are the ones that called. I need to talk to them.
Then I can bring them outside, but you do not have the authority to be in my home.
You're gonna go stand outside
You
with
do
them.
not have the authority to be in my home.
You're gonna go with them. Alright, come on, Kroy.
I was not clear what was going on, now I am. Come on, let's go. We're gonna need stuff outside.
No, I'm not going to leave him with my children.
Okay, well, my officers, and they got body cams on.
No.
They'll be fine.
No.
So.
So what's going on? Who's gonna hit it? See anybody or you just assume people are on No, you're fine. So what did you see? What did you see? Hold on, let me tell you one more time. You didn't see anything? So you didn't see where the hand up, Okay, so all you guys have heard is a bunch of yelling and screaming. And what you thought you saw, what was your dad doing? He just walking upstairs and mom was trying to prevent him upstairs and he threw his arms up or trying to get her to stop talking. What's that? But so your dad was trying to like push him all the way, trying to get her to stop talking. So you didn't see like balls, fists, punching the face. Okay. Alright, perfect. You guys are good, thank you. Where's she at?
She's in her car.
Where?
It's right around the corner. Like, just take a right and then walk back there. Yeah.
Okay. Leave the home or no?
Not yet, until we talk to her.
So we can't stand outside?
We can stand outside if we
Okay.
want, so.
Thank you.
By that point, another cop has arrived and they're like, hold up, you know, trying to calm Kroy down. I think Stafford might be the supervisor because it's 3 cops and a supervisor. I believe it's Stafford. We will have to watch his body cam video in the next one coming up later because I haven't watched it yet. And we'll get a good vantage point because he's the one who seems to take control, talk to Kroy face to face a lot, and talk to Kim face to face a lot. Different ones have different points of view and they're all over the place at different times. So we're getting a full story as we watch each point of view. So Kroy is ranting and he's like, I don't need to hold up. He is totally disobeying the cops. You know, they're asking him, do you want to have a seat? And no, and this and that. And he's walking all over the place with his towel. You know, he talks about his towel, but he is blessed to be alive. If you guys think that Kroy is enjoying some privilege here and Kim in certain respects, you don't know the half of it if you haven't watched that video in the past where we listened to 911 calls and Kim talked about the time an officer remembered showing up at their house because some type of alarm had gone off. Sometimes the nanny would set the alarm off. Cops showed up at the house and Kroy literally drew a gun on the police officers and basically backed them out of the house. And they backed away. Now we know in many other cities, in many other police departments, Kroy would have been a goner and the cops would have been within their rights to do so. You don't pull a gun on cops, even in your own home, if they're just responding to an alarm. They're coming there to try and protect Kroy and Kim and the kids. And for Kroy to pull a gun on them and tell them to get out, I mean, he's very protective of his home. I get it, but he's not being protective in the right way. The cops are trying to help the situation. They're trying to protect the kids. The kids are the ones that called. So cop number 1 goes and, gets Kroy is off somewhere. He goes and talks to Kim sitting in her vehicle. She's saying that she wants a divorce. Kroy has been screaming at her like a crazy person for the last hours. It all began earlier that day around 11 a.m. She was trying to leave for a hair appointment at 11:30 a.m. The hair appointment was at noon. Later, she's going to say she had to call and make up all these excuses why she was 20 minutes late for the hair appointment. It's not clear if she got her hair done or not. I think she did because she talks about when she made it home from her hair appointment. She also tells the officer there's a broken gate and Kroy was like jumping in front of her, and so she had to get out of her car to try and open the gate. And then she was talking about wearing a robe. This is confusing. If she was on her way to her hair appointment, why was she wearing a robe? So maybe she means later. We don't often get a continuous story that makes sense. Sometimes from Kim, when we're watching these videos, she kind of just goes off on tangents and doesn't answer questions directly. So at some point she's in a robe that day, maybe once she made it back, I don't know, maybe earlier that morning, who knows. And she said Kroy was following her, he was grabbing the hood on her robe. She was screaming to her neighbors, please help me. So maybe that's why neighbors were videotaping, they were trying to help her. I'm surprised no neighbors called the cops earlier that day, because apparently this had been going on for hours. She was saying Kroy would not let her leave that morning, but eventually I guess she got out, she came back, she parked in that spot inside the gate by the garage, just staying there, trying to stay in the car, stay protected, stay away from Kroy. She was saying if she goes in the house, Kroy kicks the kids out, or vice versa. It just sounds like a mess. And her son was even like, Mom, please take me to my friend's house. Kids don't want to be around this strife. They don't want to be around all this arguing. It's triggering for some people because some people, we've grown up around homes where there has been arguing, where it gets out of control. At this point, to me, Kim does sound like she's crying authentically. Now, I know some people think she isn't, and I know some people are staunchly on Kim's side. Some people are staunchly on Kroy's side, but I'm in Team Jesus in the middle trying to see the truth. Many things can be true at once. Yeah, Kim might be playing it up for the officer. She might be truly terrified. Like, I think she really is scared of Kroy. And I think she really was crying. I heard sniffling and, she's wiping. And of course, people can fake certain things, but they say you can't necessarily fake, the sniffling and your nose running and the liquids that start coming out. I think a lot of things can be true at once. Like, I'm reading your comments. One woman wrote, we shouldn't just be saying, oh, Kim's a faker, like Kroy calls her, you're fake, it's all drama, it's all fake. Part of it might be over the top, but part of it might be really true. It can be true that Kim might not be a good wife for Kroy. She could be a gambling addict. She could be not faithful, I don't know, but that doesn't mean she's not suffering verbal abuse from Kroy. She's going to talk about him calling her a dumb bee and all this stuff and all this screaming. No matter what reasons Kroy is upset, and he likely has many reasons to be upset. If she did gamble away a lot of the money, she's upset he hasn't had a job in 7 years. There's accusations of cheating. There's a lot of stuff going on. There can be a lot of fault on both sides, but it is never the answer to act the way Kroy is acting right now, screaming at the top of his lungs. And I get it. You know, people write, oh, if you're married to a narcissist, they can drive you crazy. They can drive you to your breaking point, your brink, and then they make you look crazy. Maybe that's not the case here. Once again, Kim is going to bring up Kroy potentially having CTE, which is a condition we'll delve more into because she's going to bring up one of her neighbors, one of her friends, a football player who offed himself and he suffered from CTE. She's afraid Kroy could potentially meet the same fate or, you know, be violent towards all of them. So there's a lot going on at play here. Kim said Kroy never wants her to leave. So in the meantime, the cop is still talking to Kim, but Kroy is yelling so loudly in the home, kind of far away, that it interrupts their conversation. Like Kim is like, what's that yelling? He's yelling. And the cop is saying, oh, I'm around the corner talking to his partner. So he's jogging it. You know, he's kind of hoofing it in the house to help his partners. And Kroy has the nerve to tell one of the cops, you're about to get bit, pointing at his dog. So to me, that was threatening. Now, maybe Kroy was warning him. Their dogs are protective, and we have seen what one of the dogs did to one of their sons, and some people really, they come against this couple for keeping the dog who bit the boy's eye and everything. Kroy was the one so amped up, and so of course his dog is being protective, just like a canine would be, you know, with his partner, and Kroy is saying, you're about to get bit. So Kroy is being very threatening. He doesn't like people in his home. He's pulled a gun, according to Kim. He's pulled a gun on police officers in the past, and now he's like kind of threatening them with his dog. I mean, my goodness, he's really pushing the envelope. But again, this is a training video. This is a study. God bless these cops. They are rock stars for dealing with this man the way they did. So Kroy is going on and on about the cops don't have permission or authority to be in his home. And one cop is trying to get Kroy to step outside so that the other cop can talk to his kids and get the real story. But Kroy says, I am not going to leave him with my children. Now, I had gotten this wrong at first. When I heard it, I thought he said, I'm not going to leave Kim with my children. So I thought it was strange that he was mentioning Kim's name. I thought it was strange that Kroy was saying, I'm not going to leave the kids with their mom. I thought Kroy was saying Kim was in the house and he didn't want to leave the kids with her. And I thought, oh boy, that's weird. Is he like making a play for this big custody battle between them? What's going on? But he's saying, I don't want to leave that cop with my kids. So the cops are explaining, look, we have on body cam videos, nothing's gonna happen, they'll be safe. Kroy says no. So he refuses. So they stand there with him, and he can hear Kroy, to me, at this point, is being manipulative. Of course, we don't want strangers with our kids. But in this instance, I feel like it was Kroy just standing there, almost like this force of nature, overhearing what the kids are going to tell the cops, because he doesn't want them to tell them anything. You know, I feel like someone has kind of coached these kids once we get to that point. The cop explains in his report how Kroy shouted at him as he entered the home, told him he didn't have permission to be there. He's trying to tell the cops to leave. The cops are explaining, look, Kroy, we do have permission to be here. It's a lawful reason. We're investigating a potential domestic crime. So the report says the cop goes into the kitchen to speak with the juveniles. The reason the cops want to talk to the kids, the report says that the juveniles said during the arguments, it looked like Kroy may have hit Kimberly. So the kids are thinking they can't tell, of course, you know, who knows where they are in the house and what vantage point they have. And you never know if someone's in your face and you're all close or whatever. Perhaps it looked like Kroy hit her. The cop eventually says to the kids, oh, all you guys really heard was yelling and screaming, and they pretty much agree. We can hear the kids a little better once we go to this very next body cam number 2. But Kroy is so adamant about getting these cops out of his house. He's like, okay, you know, are you leaving? And they're like, wait, no, just a second. You know, Kim has to get some stuff because she's planning to leave for the night. It is funny to me that Kroy is so super protective of this home that he's likely about to lose, either through the home being sold to help pay off their many debts, or through foreclosure. Either way, maybe that's why he's gripping on so tightly, because he knows he's about to lose this home. He's just so big on these cops getting out of his house. Now at this point, the body cam video pans past this big, huge brown box on the porch. And at first I'm thinking, whoa, did they order something? Are they spending money still on stuff? But then I thought, well, you know, it could be you pack up stuff and you're selling stuff because the house is for sale. It could be something they're shipping off because Kim has started selling off a lot of things on Instagram. Maybe it is a big package or box waiting to be, you know, shipped off somewhere, someone pick it up, stuff she's selling. Just yesterday, she put up videos of Louis Vuitton luggage, like a set of 5 things, like a men's duffel bag, 2 garment bags, all this stuff. And she claims it's worth $15,500 or so. Looks really nice and all that. Now, she even provided receipts, but the receipts don't add up to $15,500. I think that receipt said something like $5,900 or whatever. I'm like, is she like scamming to try and get more money? Okay, but she claims, look, that receipt doesn't show everything, but it does show Louis Vuitton. So she's trying to make money. So at least in this part, she is trying to be proactive. She's trying to sell stuff. I hope the stuff that she's selling is going directly to her debtors or whatever, to pay off the debt or to pay her lawyers or whatever.
This is basically brand new, used only once, excellent condition. This is the messenger bag. That obviously matches it as well. There's the suitcase. It can also be like a carry-on suitcase. There's a toiletry bag there. There's a garment bag here that holds a couple, suits or whatever. If it's like just an overnight trip. And then you have a bigger garment bag that holds several more pieces. And these two have hangers in them, which is awesome. Here's inside of the suitcase. Brand new. Okay, here is the outside close up. Literally immaculate. Toiletry bag. Inside of the toiletry bag, 3 compartments. Perfect condition. Okay guys, this is all only carried one time. A Louis Vuitton men's duffel bag. This is a garment bag, and this is a garment bag, which is really cool because they don't even make them with the hangers anymore. And then, of course, the little rolling bag as well. Excellent condition. Like I said, he carried it one time on the road to one of his football games. Here is the garment bag. Again, this one was never used. And look at this one. This one has 4 hangers, which is unfreaking real. They don't even make them like that anymore. Oh, this never used. This one was never ever carried. So it was the other one that he did carry. Little outside zipper pouch too.
And a lot of people had stuff to say about, oh, how could Kim be getting her hair done? You know, her priorities are out of whack. Now that part I understand too. She's in a visual medium. She's on TV. She is expected to hold up a certain image, look a certain way. I understand still having to get your hair done, get your nails done, buy clothes, or just use the clothes you already have, you know. And it's a good thing she's selling stuff, as long as she's not selling it to gamble it off. And it's crazy how much some of this stuff cost. Whether it was $5,000 something or $15,000 something, whatever. This luggage, she claimed Kroy only carried it once, only like the duffel bag or something, you know, to some football trip or whatever, and not really used. So they have a lot of stuff that they just maybe bought on a whim. And this is where I don't know if Kim purchased this for Kroy or if he purchased it for himself, and she's going to get mad later talking about the jewelry she thinks Kroy took and sold. So I think they're going through and just grabbing stuff and trying to sell it and use it for their own, I don't know, hopefully Kroy can use it to pay his lawyer the $800 he owes that lawyer or more. By this point, cop number 1 stands outside with Kroy, and Kroy seems to have calmed down a bit. The cop is asking the other one, did you see any marks on Kim? And no, he didn't. So they're trying to ask Kroy, do you have any marks on you? And Kroy again is being obtuse. and just flippant, like, it doesn't matter if I do. What if I, you know, he doesn't want to answer the question. Neither one of them want to answer the question about whether it got physical, because both of them know if they answer, like, yes, he hit me, that means Kroy is likely going to jail for the night, at least, or if vice versa. I'm sure neither one of them want to go to jail. And Kim is going to explain how she is really scared of Kroy, but she's also torn because she's saying, this is not my husband. You know, I've never seen him act that way. I think he's suffering from this concussion disease. And so that's why she hasn't made up her mind about divorce. She gets to the point where it's like a night like this night. She says it's the worst night ever. I can see why she's saying, yeah, I want a divorce when a night like this happens. But then other times it's like, you know, she has compassion on him, but she's going to say, look, he won't admit there's any kind of problem with him, and he won't admit he needs any help. And yeah, you know, that is a dangerous person who won't admit. Both of them need to admit. Kroy is going to say Kim needs to commit herself somewhere, I guess turn herself in, or I guess he means Gamblers Anonymous, or whatever her addictions are, she needs to address those. At the same time, Kroy needs to admit he has some rage issues. It's not justified.
No, she didn't have any marks.
I didn't get a chance to see if you had any marks or not.
I couldn't tell. He was just screaming at me the whole time.
I got it.
So do you have any marks on you or anything? Anybody hit you? Doesn't matter if I do. If somebody were to hit you today, where would they have hit you? Doesn't matter. Pointing at your stomach. Is that what it's
My wife said that he's been at it since this morning, since like 11 when she was trying to leave. Go to her hair appointment.
Here first, I thought Stafford was with you.
I
thought Stafford was with you. Did you get here first?
No, I was here first.
Oh. Could have sworn I saw him GPS. Just give us a second. I'm sure it'll get tied up here shortly, and we'll be on our way.
Let me figure this out and we'll get you set up, okay? Alright, Kroy. Let's start over because I know you go up and down every time I come out here. So let's start over, okay? I'm going to treat you the same way you treat me, with respect. But once you cross that line gets crossed and the respect goes out the door. Are we clear on that? So what happened tonight? Huh?
An argument.
Okay, well, what were you guys arguing about? Okay, so what entailed in the argument?
An argument. Verbal argument.
Okay. Were you following her around the house when you guys were arguing?
I said you communicated to me in here.
Yeah, well, I can be here and be yelling at somebody 100 feet away. That's why I'm asking. So you were following her around the house while you guys were arguing?
We were within earshot of each other, yes.
Okay, but when she moved from one room to another, you went to that other room, correct? Listen, no lines have been crossed. As far as from I know, I'm just trying to get statements so we can figure this all out.
There's no reason. You guys don't even need to be here. This is trauma drama.
Okay, and that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. To figure out how can we figure out this
The
drama.
bottom is there was a verbal argument. That's it. There's nothing to figure out.
Okay. All right. So apparently it's again with the property and stuff like this. You go. No, listen, Kroy. Listen to me. Because I told you last time when I was out here, right? There's three sides to the story. Your side, her side, God's side, correct? I told you this last time. Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to tell you what she told me in the statement, okay? I'm not saying you did. I'm not making any accusations. I'm not saying you're a bad guy. I'm just telling you what she said. Right. Apparently it's over some property again of you guys wanting to get rid of stuff or not. Somebody don't want to get it. So that's
a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, and that's what I'm getting at. Okay. Did she ever put her hands on you?
Doesn't matter.
Do you have your ID?
Yeah.
Has any of your information changed from the last time you was out here? Your phone number, all that stuff is still the same? Okay. What can we do to mitigate the situation tonight? Okay, so you're not willing to go and get a place or anything like that again tonight? Okay.
There's nothing we can do. Unless she goes and admits herself somewhere, there ain't nothing we can do.
Okay. Well then hang tight with these two officers, alright? Or hang tight with Officer Kroy.
That's another thing. Even if he has CTE, of course we can feel sorry for his mental health. And of course, no man wants to be played or feel like he's been used. I didn't watch the Don't Be Tardy for the Party reality show, so I really don't know their dynamic. But, you know, some people who watched it, they talked about the horrible way Kim treated Kroy, and now that the money's gone and, you know, she's used him up, she's tossing him aside. And other people feel differently, so that's why I dig for the truth of both sides. If just both of them could really see how they've contributed to the problems in their own marriage and admit it. But no matter what, CTE or anger or anything is no excuse to act this way. Screaming at each other, you know, Kim has screamed too, of course, in front of the children, scaring the life out of the children. So at one point, Kroy is asking the cops if he can use the restroom. They're like, no, let's give it a little more time, give it a little more time. At one point, he's like, forget it, you know, he just walks in the house eventually.
What's up with the towel?
Doing stuff in the house and I just had it on me. Yeah, OCD, I guess.
Alright, so let's keep you in the loop. So it sounds like, you know, she maybe wants to stay somewhere tonight, so Officer Stafford's just going to talk to her right now, see if she needs to get anything to kind of facilitate that, and if she wants to stay somewhere, she can. I understand. So I'm sure you know, you've been out here enough. So if she wants to come back tonight, you know, I got to let her in the house. It would be the same thing, vice versa, if you were the one that was leaving.
No, nobody's. About 10% of what she says actually happened. If that.
Sorry, I can't hear you when you walk away, man.
I said about 10% of what she says actually happened. If that.
Well, that's why we got to talk to everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Because, like you said, I mean, what she says is somewhat true compared to what you said, and somewhere is in the middle.
Kroy, do you want a case card with a case number? Again? Okay. So, she's going to grab some things, she's going to get in a car, she's going to leave. She's going to not come back tonight, from what she says, but we tried to play this game last time, it didn't work out so well. That's all we can do tonight, okay? She says she's going to go somewhere for the night. That's what's going to happen, and then just leave it be, okay? Alright. I get things are tough. I get you don't like the outcome sometimes we come out here, and I'm sorry for that, but We still have to stay within the confines of what we're allowed to do, like I told you last time. All right? I get it heated, okay? But this is what it's gonna be, okay?
Right.
So you hang out here. She's gonna get her stuff. She's gonna get her car. She's gonna leave, and then we're gonna leave.
Okay.
Sound good? Stay over here.
Did she say how long she was going to be?
Should be long. She's grabbing a couple things. She left the debit card. Did any of your information change from the last time we spoke, Kroy? Okay.
But sometime in there, the cop had come up to Kroy. I think it's Stafford, and he's like, look, Kroy, every time I'm here, you're up and down. So, look, I want to find out what happened. I'm going to treat you the way you treat me. I'm going to treat you like if you respect me, I'm going to respect you, you know, man to man. At this point, I haven't watched Stafford, the main one's body cam, so I'm sure we'll be able to hear more of what Kroy is saying directly to him. At one point, Kroy is screaming at the top of his lungs when they get there, and then other points he's speaking really lowly. Bottom line, the cop is like, look, what can we do to mitigate this situation? What can we do to calm things down? He's asking him, so you're not willing to get a place or anything like that? And Kroy just says, I can't. That's when he says, unless she goes somewhere and admits herself tonight. I think he wants Kim to admit herself to, what, a psych ward? I don't know what he's talking about. Or to a rehab center? Maybe that's what he means.
It's all done for you.
What's that?
It's all done for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we'll zone 4 gets the zone.
The cop interjects a little humor. One of them is like, what's up with the towel, you know, and Kroy just explains, you know, I just had it in the house. I guess it's a little OCD. He's used to maybe carrying it around. They're telling Kroy, look, if Kim comes back tonight or anytime, you have to let her in and vice versa. Basically, the property belongs to both of them still at this point. They don't have a judge's order saying, you know, one of them has to leave. And Kroy is saying, look, only about 10% of what Kim says actually happens when they're telling him, look, she's going to go somewhere else for the night. Kroy doesn't want his case number. He does not care. They've been out there so many times. He's over it. So they're going to stand out there and wait for Kim to get her stuff. And just like in previous videos, she's taking her sweet time. Not as long as it took her that hour and a half in the previous body cam videos where cops stood by for an hour and a half while she, you know, brought all the stuff out to her Range Rover. But this time it does take her a good 15 minutes to go in there and collect her daughter who's going with her and stuff she needs for the night. And she's kind of just, I don't know. It shows again her entitlement. Both of them kind of show narcissistic tendencies to me, but this is one of them where Kim is afraid, and I get it. She's frazzled and she's been crying. I think we can value and appreciate the time of the officers by not treating them like our servants, like, okay, fine, let me go take my sweet time, 15 minutes to, you know, get the stuff I need. Of course, my toothbrush, the pillow I like, the comforter, and she takes it off the master bedroom bed, which Kroy is supposed to be sleeping there, so that's another weird thing. It's just weirdness, and she gets her stuff and finally comes out. Now, while waiting as the cops and Kroy stand outside, waiting for Kim, taking her sweet time getting her stuff, we can read the incident investigation report from the Milton Police Department. Now, I won't talk over any important audio. It says, while conversing with the juveniles, I speak to the reporting party, Juvenile 1. Juvenile 1 told me his parents were arguing and yelling at each other. Now, this is different. I don't know. I think actually more than one kid called because it was a female and a male. I think one kid is going to say he called and hung up or something like that. But the juvenile said during the arguments, it looked like Kroy may have hit Kimberly. I asked Juvenile 1 to elaborate on how Kroy struck Kimberly, to which I was told he put his hand into her face. So the cop is like, what? I asked how Kroy put his hand into Kimberly's face and was told he held his hand at her face with his fingers extended.
Where's Ross at?
She's inside with Kimberly getting new stuff. She's grabbing a couple of personal effects and she left her debit card or something inside, so she's gonna grab that. She's back. Yep. Appreciate it.
I asked if Kroy ever made a fist and struck Kimberly, or was he just putting his hand in her face as if telling her to stop talking. Juvenile 1 said it was more of a way of telling her to stop talking or get away from him. I asked if it was in an aggressive manner or harmful, to which I was told no. During my conversation with Juvenile 1, I was told multiple times by the other juveniles the argument never turned physical and they were just yelling at each other. I made contact with Kimberly, who was standing next to her vehicle by the garage. She told me they'd been arguing all day about random things. Kimberly told me she was upset with Kroy because he took her jewelry and may have sold it. I explained to Kimberly, just like last time, issues with property need to be addressed in civil court as the property is jointly owned by marriage. She told me she understood, but was just upset about it. Kimberly went on to say that they were arguing and yelling at each other throughout the day. She said Kroy had been following her around the house, trying to stop her from leaving by placing his arms outward, blocking her from walking in a certain direction. Kimberly told me Kroy never physically tried to keep her in any portion of the home, but just kept following her around the house. Kimberly said at one point she was able to leave and walked down the street some. She said Kroy would follow her and keep yelling. Kimberly said she turned around and went back to the home because she did not want to cause a scene. She told me at no point did Kroy place his hands on her in a threatening manner, nor did he make her come back to the home or go into another room in the house. Kimberly told me the argument stayed a verbal one in nature. I again went back to Kroy to gain a statement from him. I asked again what occurred, and he continued to be verbally combative. Kroy would only tell me they were arguing, and it never turned physical. When asked about following her around the house, Kroy told me he was staying within a close range to talk to her, but would not elaborate anything further. He told me it did not matter as this incident never turned physical. I ended my interview with Kroy as he was not cooperating with law enforcement and did not want to make a full statement. I went back to Kimberly and asked if she had a place to stay for the night, to which she advised she was going to leave and stay at a hotel for the night. I told her if she wanted to gather some belongings and leave prior to us, we would remain at the house to prevent another argument from occurring. Kimberly stated that would be fine and gathered some belongings prior to leaving with her daughter. I asked Kroy if he wanted a case card in regard to this incident for record purposes, to which he declined. After Kimberly left the residence, law enforcement cleared from the residence and left. I went down the street to park at the clubhouse to complete some paperwork regarding this incident. While at the clubhouse, I observed Kimberly's vehicle drive by me on 2 different occasions. Both times she did not return to the residence. Based on the information provided to me during my interviews, I do not believe a crime occurred at this time, and there was no probable cause for an arrest. There is audio-video recording of my actions during this incident on my agency-issued body-worn camera. I had no further involvement with this incident. After Kroy goes back in the house, he asks the boys if they've eaten, so that's at least 3 boys, plus there's a boy that's spending the night, so at least 4 boys. And Kroy is kind of, getting on them. Gentlemen, you do not leave the kitchen like this. Gentlemen, when I ask you to do something, it means now. He even says something to the daughter that is leaving with Kim. He's going to say something about her going outside. Maybe he doesn't know she's going to go spend the night at a hotel with her mom. In the end of body cam number 1, Kim is getting all the stuff from the bedroom. She's getting the pillow. The officers are her errand boys. Here's the big old pillow. Here's the comforter. I'll take this stuff. You guys can take the heavy stuff. You can tell the cop is rushing her along a little bit. And they're strategically trying to keep her away from Kroy because he's in the house. Kim has forgotten her toothbrush and her toothpaste, and they get away from each other. And it sounds like Kroy says, "Are we good?" Like, basically, can you guys leave? So in the end of body cam 1, we see Kim eventually drive out the gate, and it's like, anything else, any questions for us, Kroy? And he's just like, no, he's upset. He doesn't want the cops there, pretending like he's not upset that Kimberly is leaving, but I really think he is.
Buddy. Hey.
Someone go play video games or
Wait, JJ can, JJ,
if he needs to, then he needs to.
Yeah.
That's fine.
She's grabbing her toothbrush, toothpaste, will say anything to her, and then she
I'm gonna sit in my hairdresser's side.
Gentlemen, I asked you to go do something. That means now. Not outside. It is 0 and cold inside. Gentlemen, let's clean this up. We do not leave the kitchen like this.
Good? Right, bark is a lot worse than
Yeah.
Good?
This way? Alright, yeah, let's just go.
Yeah, go to the kitchen. Yep, same way we came in.
Are we good?
Alright, you guys good?
She's hugging her son.
Alright, so Ross is going with them. So they're going out to the car. Alright, we're gonna leave you alone. Kimberly and Kyrie are leaving for the night. So, they're going. You got just you and the boys. Alright?
Any questions for us?
Alright, bud. Best of luck with everything.
Appreciate it.
Have a better night.
Pulling out here. Yeah. So we can watch her leave and then we're good. Yep. Appreciate the help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, full body cam number 2. This is from the female officer, Officer Morris. We're going to see her talk to Kim. And we might have already seen it. I got to remember what I've seen and what, but we will see upstairs at some point. I think we've already seen it. No, we'll see it this time coming up. Kim will go upstairs at certain points and Officer Morris will be up there with her and Kim's going to give her opinion about these body cam videos. But this officer, she enters the home at first and she's looking for Kim and the kids tell her, I think she's left because the kids don't know. There's so much going on in this house. Now, pretty soon after she enters, then Kroy's going to burst in, and this is the point where he's yelling at them. You don't have the authority to be in this house. You're gonna get bit, he tells the officers. So we see this scene again. And it's sad, as Kroy is so amped up, you can hear the boys too in the background. They're getting amped up. You can tell, you can't necessarily hear what they're saying yet, but it's probably like something like, no, Dad, like calm down.
Oh, here it's really.
I'll go with Elvin.
Hey, it's Officer Ross.
anyone in here? It's Officer Ross. Is he nice? Okay, thank you. Do you know where the other officer is? Do you know where your mom is?
I think my mom just left.
Oh, she just left. Gotcha. Okay. They said.
Hey, can you guys come over?
Officers, you do not have the authority to be in my home. Officer, you do not have the authority to be in my home. Officer, officer, you do not have the authority to be in my home. You do not have the authority to be in my home. I did not give you permission to come in my home.
Before you get put in
Is she gone?
You're not to get Sir, I did not give you authorization to be in my home.
You're going to get put in court. Listen to me very
I did not give you authorization. I know my rights. I know my rights.
Okay, then stop talking if you know your rights. I'm going to tell you your rights. I'm going to inform you your rights. We're here for a lawful reason to investigate a domestic violence situation.
Right, where the person is
The
outside.
kids are the ones that called. I need to talk to
And
them.
I can bring them outside, but you do not have the authority to be in my home.
You're going to go stand outside
You
with
do
them.
not have the authority to be in my home.
You're going to go with them.
So it's not clear what's going on. Now I am. Come on, let's go. We're going to step outside.
No, I'm not going to leave. Again, with my children.
Okay, well, my officer.
Y'all sit down and you can talk about it.
He called it and then he hung up when I walked in.
Okay, so what's going on?
They probably think their dad is about to get taken down by the police, arrested, or I'm sure these boys know what could happen. And it's sad when it's like the kids have the wisdom, like, calm down. Even they want their dad to calm down. So this is the officer that goes with Stafford in the kitchen to talk to the boys. It's all been redacted. You can't see, you can hear the audio. The boys are saying they've just been fighting and hitting each other. And the officer's like, who's been hitting who?
They've just been fighting and hitting each other.
Who's been hitting who?
Nobody's been hitting. I just know my mom was fine. Nobody's been hitting anybody.
Did you see anybody, or you just assume because you want to cry somebody's been hitting?
I think I've seen something, but yeah, I'm a destiny.
No, you're fine. So what did you see?
Just crying.
I wasn't hitting anybody. I was talking to mom and she's just been bothering her talking. I don't know
What
why.
did you see?
I didn't see
Just coming back and
Hold on, let me talk to one person at a time.
They're just crying, and my dad sent me to my room, so I couldn't see anything.
So you didn't see anything?
I couldn't see
So
anything.
you didn't see anybody
They
put
were-
hands
they were-
up or stuff like that?
They were just
window?
They were just running
Guys,
down.
one at a time, one at a time.
They were running down, and I went.
We're in the
I
kitchen
just
right
did
now.
another thing, and there's a railing over there. And I think I saw my dad's face.
Yes.
So you thought you saw it. You didn't see it, you thought you saw it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw like that.
Okay, so all you guys have heard is a bunch of yelling and screaming. And when you thought you saw it, what was your dad doing? Was he just walking the stairs and you almost trying to kick, like prevent everyone on the stairs, and he threw his arms up?
Yeah,
Or
and I think my dad was like covering her mouth because she was like.
I saw my
trying
mom
to get her to
doing
stop talking?
Yeah.
What's that?
I saw my mom doing this outside. I don't know why.
Okay.
Was she alone?
But so your dad was trying to like push your mom away, trying to get her to stop talking, so like you didn't see him like balls, fist, punch her in the face. Okay. All right, perfect. You guys are good. Thank you.
What's your name? Cash. Cash? Okay, thank you.
Nobody's been hitting anybody. You'll hear one of the kids insisting over and over, nobody's been hitting anybody. Nobody's been hitting anybody. Almost like he's been coached. Because one boy sounds like he's like not sure, and then it's like, no, nobody's been hitting. Like, these fights have gotten physical before. You know, previous ones we've read, we didn't get the body cam for, I think, but we read the 911 calls where Kim talks about Kroy allegedly broke her nails. Kroy talks about being hit on the back of the head by Kim. Kroy talks about being kicked. There's all this physical stuff that has happened. So I'm sure some physical stuff probably happened this night, but both Kim and Kroy probably don't want the other to get arrested, or, you know, they're still feeling sorry. They don't want to get arrested. So I'm sure someone has coached these kids to say, no, nobody's hitting nobody. He's just been following her around and talking to her, one of the boys says. So I don't know. I feel so bad for these kids. So they're talking and talking and talking all at the same time, and the officer has to tell them, you know, just one at a time. And basically, from what he can surmise, it's just, okay, they were following each other around. Kroy was trying to talk to her. Maybe he saw something, but it's just Kroy's hand in her face. So the officer goes with it. You know, they chat with the kids briefly, which is good because you don't want to exacerbate the issue. Kroy is already standing out there. He's probably mad. The cop is talking to his kids anyway. So the cop is just trying to get the basic info from the kids. He surmises, oh, nobody put hands on each other. Okay, fine. Again, I think we'll hear that interview with the kids better in the next set of body cam videos we go over.
Not yet, until he talks to her.
So we can all stand outside.
Kroy was just trying to get you away from him, like putting his hand out.
He's trying to not let me leave.
That's what I'm saying, whatever, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Kroy was just doing this with his hand.
And yeah, and fucking trying not to get me to leave, like this.
Yeah,
like,
and that's-
like this, out of the gate. I was trying
Yeah.
to please leave me alone. Like I got it down the road. I was walking down the road in a bathrobe looking like an idiot, and he's screaming, "I don't give a f*** about these neighbors, you dumb bitch!" Just screaming in my ears for like the last hour.
I know, I get it's hard,
No,
and I get everything going on.
Do you have any injuries?
I just,
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
please stop.
So, it's kind of like the same thing last time with the wig, you guys are just arguing about
He
something.
stole all my jewelry. I just found out that I've ever owned prior to my marriage. I mean, like, I don't even care. I don't. He doesn't want the divorce. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And I can't.
So, go for it. Okay,
Are there
so,
car lights in the driveway?
it's a bunch, they're out in the street.
Oh, I
So,
see lights there. I don't know what they. Oh, for me.
It might be ours. We
Okay.
have, yeah.
My kids. I just want to make sure my kids and dogs don't.
so
run
y'all
away.
are arguing over the jewelry tonight.
No. He stole the jewelry. I just had to let it
So
go.
what caused that? What started the argument tonight?
Nothing. I was this morning. He's like, "This is your last chance to have a conversation." I said, "I don't want to have a conversation. I just want a divorce. I don't want to do this. Like, just leave me alone. It's okay." And then I had
He's
to my.
saying that. He's
Yeah,
saying that.
I'm
He doesn't
telling
want
him.
the- he doesn't want the
divorce.
Yeah, okay.
And so, and this person that I'm dealing with right now is not the same person that I married. So it's been hard for me to like make a decision because it's so sad.
No, I know, divorce is, it's rough.
Yeah, but like
it's
mentally,
hard.
he's not like if you could see him like it's crazy. Like I'm so scared of how he behaves. But like this is not my husband. So in my mind, it's like we can get you out. We can figure this out. But he doesn't have a problem, you know. So like, I have to leave. My kids are not.
Do you have a place to go tonight?
I don't. I'll go get a hotel room. I had to last week as well.
Okay. But nothing
But I
turned
was
physical?
screaming like, help me, help me. My other daughter called, my older one, and I was
Let me
like,
just touch, I talked to the kids already, and I'm just touching bases here.
yeah.
Because I want to make sure I get all the sides. Because like I told you last time, there's 3 sides. Your side, Kroy's side, and God's side. I've told you that, and I was fair last time, was I not?
Yes, very.
Okay. So nothing turned physical tonight. You didn't put your hands on him. He didn't put your hands on you.
No,
He was just trying to prevent you from, yeah, he's being a bully. He was getting
He
your
took my
way.
phone, deleted all my voice notes, like, you know when you record
Yeah.
voice notes, so like.
But he didn't like physically grab you to keep you in the house. He was just doing the bully thing of you're not going to leave and just following you
I
around.
can't get out.
Yeah.
And
So
if
he's
I
just
can, like,
following you around the
run-
house as you're trying to get out.
And I was able to like get out and then,
Okay.
and like go down the
But that's
sidewalk.
what I'm saying. He didn't physically grab you and confine you and keep you. It was the whole, I'm not going to let you out. The bell went up.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like, but he's so much bigger than me, you know,
No,
so it's
well,
like,
I don't, trust me, I don't.
I don't. there's
But you were
nothing I
able to
can
eventually
do.
get out and you started walking away and then you came back on
Like,
your
I
own.
was in my, he's like fake tears and fake bullshit, and I'm like, God, please get me out of here. Please, just leave me
Kimberly,
alone.
let me ask you this question.
The only
You got
reason
down
why-
the street, you got down the street and you came back on your own accord. He didn't grab you and pull you down the street back here, correct?
No, this is me. I had nothing, no car keys, no nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
He took
You
my
came back,
phone.
that's what I'm saying. You came back on your own accord.
Yeah, he took my phone. I had nothing to like leave
Okay,
with.
and
And I'm
you're
like
gonna get a
so
hotel tonight.
embarrassed. Yes.
Okay. Hang tight with this officer, okay?
Don't tell him I'm getting a hotel. No,
No, I'm not gonna tell him.
I'm gonna stay somewhere else tonight.
You know how he is.
Don't tell him.
This is gonna be, you know how it is. It's gonna be like last time where there's
I
gonna be some
appreciate you
arguing, there's
very
gonna be some yelling, so just ignore all that.
You were fantastic last time.
Yep, thank you. Just stay with Officer Ross, please.
Sometimes the best thing is to just separate.
But I just can't.
Can you get her ID again, get all that?
Oh yeah, of course.
I know it's probably has to change.
I came back to get my debit card. I've been waiting on my debit card. That's another reason. I had nothing.
Do you, yeah, let's just hang tight here for a
I'm at my
second.
wallet or my
Okay, yeah, you're good. You're good. That way I can just write down the
So I
license
came in the
number.
car to like get away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my son because he wanted. He's like, Mom, I'm scared. Can I like get picked up? I said, Yeah, just get picked up by my neighbor, and I'll just pick you up later. So when he was walking, he was crying. I said, Well, he said, Dad said no, I can't go anywhere. And I was like, I'll pick you up. So thankfully, he came running out here and then stuck his arm through the window as it's going up because I saw him. I was
Okay,
like,
is that kind of what escalated
no,
it?
this just happened. That's why I'm sitting in my car. Like
Oh,
an
just
idiot.
now? Okay. Okay.
And then I started screaming at me when the officer was like, Mr. Biermann, because he called him screaming at me.
Right, right.
These reports that come out and all of this stuff is just like too much for my kids. Too much. Like this is not the person that I married.
It's difficult when that happens in marriages. It's,
I think like
it's a
he
tough
definitely has
situation.
CT.
Right.
My neighbor's husband plays for the Falcons linebacker, Shane Jornet. I've talked to her. Like this is, if you could see this person, it's crazy as shit.
So Officer Ross then goes outside. Kim is speaking with a different officer. She's explaining to him about how much Kroy was screaming at her. Like, she didn't want a scene, but Kroy is allegedly saying, I don't give an F about these neighbors, and calling her a dumb bee and all that stuff. And Kim admits she doesn't have any physical injuries. She was just upset about her jewelry being taken by Kroy. She was saying that Kroy had said to her, this is your last chance to have a conversation, I guess that morning, that Monday before Thanksgiving. And she was saying she didn't want to have a conversation. She just wanted to get a divorce. But she says, this is crazy. That's why I'm so scared. She says, this is not my husband. In my mind, we can get you help, but he doesn't have a problem, according to him. But at this point, Kim has a hard time answering direct questions. That's why I think something physical probably did go on, because the cop is just trying to say, look, at any time, did he put his hands on you? Did he try and drag you back to the house? Did he do that? And she's just kind of blathering on about stuff. I mean, you'll see it or you've seen it. Like, she's not just 10 toes down, standing there. Yes, he did this, or no, he did not do that. But she tells the cop, don't tell him we're going to get a hotel. So the cops don't tell him. Kim is telling the female officer, all this stuff, all this body cam videos and all this stuff is too much for my kids. It's just too much. They're too young. She talks about Kroy definitely having CTE, according to her. And then once again, Kim brings up her neighbor, Shane Dronet, and the tragic way he took his life. Kim has gone over this before in previous body cam videos. Shane's wife was just like, it was either him or me, and she blasted out of that kitchen. Tragic, tragic circumstance, and Shane took his own life. Researchers believe that all that battering that Shane took in the NFL contributed to his personality change. It might have led to him taking his own life. He had a beautiful wife and their 2 children, Haley and Berkeley. There's an article about it, and it shows the family. It wasn't a condition that was that well known. You know, there's a Will Smith movie about it called Concussion. I'm going over this a little bit just because some of you have asked, what is CTE? But yeah, Shane, he transformed into a prankster, quick to flash a wry smile, to a person who was often frightened and frightening, and it was subtle. So it started in 2006 with a bad dream. His wife Chris said that Shane woke up in the middle of the night and started screaming and told everyone to run out of the house. He thought that someone was blowing up our house. It was very frightening. So they thought that was an isolated incident, but then 2 weeks later there was another outburst, then another, and then they were almost nightly occurrences because Shane's fear and paranoia grew. Now, part of me wonders, okay, yes, I know the situation that Kim and Kroy are going through is very real, but I wonder, is any of it paranoia? You know, is any of it Kroy's mental condition? And this is not to blame him or shame him or anything. I'm just wondering, is this a contributing factor now that we've seen the way Kroy has really flown off the handle? And I'm not saying he doesn't have reason to be angry either. Only 3 years after retiring from the NFL in 2006, Shane was suffering. He ended up taking his life when he was only 38 in 2009. So he was suffering with this brain disease, CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, and it seems to affect football players. A lot of people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to talk about the brutality and the hard hits of the NFL. You know, once they've used these players for everything they can get out of them and then leave them like this. CTE is something usually found in older dementia patients, but you know, this memory loss can happen to people have taken too many hits, and it can come out of nowhere. Now, Shane's daughter, Haley, said that Shane was ordering and he got mad at an employee and just punched him in the face. He thought the guy was shaking the ice weird or something, and he took him down in the restaurant. That's what Chris said. So it was uncharacteristic for this guy. Shane wasn't like that. It wasn't the behavior of this dad who had taken his daughters, you know, like four-wheeling, and he had been really involved in their lives, volunteered at school, painted their fingernails. He was the best dad in the world. That's what Haley said. So they're thinking his brain deteriorated because of all that battering over the years. Dr. Robert Stern says, I think the issue is that the brain was not meant to be hit, even subconcussively 1,000 times a year. And the NFL wouldn't comment about Shane's case. Shane played for 10 seasons, first with the Denver Broncos and then the Atlanta Falcons. And he never let a concussion deter him. His wife said Shane didn't come out of games because he always said NFL players are so expendable, and if you're not there, the next guy will be. So he just took it. And so Chris said there were times when Shane would be getting up slowly and kind of trying to shake it off and get back in the game. He would have headaches and he would say, I wish someone would split my head open with an axe and relieve the pressure. But it wasn't even an option to come out of the game. And it was a relief almost when he was found to have a brain tumor in 2007. Chris, his wife, said, I was almost relieved because I was thinking, okay, here's the answer to why he's acting like this, because he has a tumor. And then after he recovered from the tumor being removed, he was back to the same symptoms of paranoia. So then his wife and daughters really began to bubble up with a lot of fear. It said everything came to a head during a ski trip that his wife took with her daughter Haley in January of 2009. His wife said he called us 100 times a day, wondering where we were, and we would tell him we were in Utah, and he just didn't believe it. He thought people were driving around the house, and he was wondering who had been following him that day. It was very scary. Shane was even supposed to pick up his family at the airport, and he never showed up. And that next morning, that's when Chris found her husband with a gun in the hallway of their home. She said, I saw the gun and I ran out the door. He had gone into the kitchen, and as soon as I put my hand on the front door, I heard it. She heard the firing of the gun, which was Shane doing away with himself. And that's the moment. And she's saying back then she had nowhere to turn, no one to talk to about CTE. So I thought that was important enough to read because Kim keeps talking about Shane and his wife Chris, and Chris, I'm sure, is watching this probably too and talking to Kim, and she's been advising her and saying, look, you know, some of these symptoms I'm seeing might be familiar, because people are saying, whoa, is that really Kroy? I mean, he's dyed his beard, but people who really have watched them for years, more than I have, you know, they're saying, what? That's Kroy? I didn't even recognize him. I didn't know that's him. And some people are chalking it up to just a man who's fed up, but it could be deeper than that. We have to really look deeply about what actually is going on here.
Nicole. I did get my debit card finally. It's in my bra, guys. It's in my bra because I was afraid he was going to take it.
Will you turn your location on so I can see where you're at?
Yeah, I will right now. I like this officer a lot. He just doesn't put up with it.
He's smart.
No, he's really
smart. He's been in the game for a while.
I really appreciate you guys. I'm so sorry.
No need to apologize. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Yeah, and it, you know, it's understandable for a kid.
9 years old.
Right.
Like, they don't need, like, how do you not come down? I'm like, our kids are home, please stop.
Yeah.
He just can't stop.
It's a lot. I imagine.
How do you not stop? How do you not stop?
You mean him?
Yeah, like, how do you just not stop? Like, the kids are there, like, how can you not stop?
I don't know.
Like, I'm hurt, I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm all these things, but like...
Right. And there's healthy ways of handling that, right?
How do you just not stop and just keep going with this? Is scary. Today's been like the worst day I've ever had.
I'm so sorry.
Where I just can't leave, I can't get out, our gate's broken, so I have to manually like open one of them. So I manually opened it, and when I did that, he jumped in my car.
So then you have to get out of the car to do that? Yeah. Gotcha.
I made up some bullshit story to my hair salon. about why I was 20 minutes late.
Well, right now we're here, so like he's gonna have to let you leave if you choose to.
I need to figure out what to do with Kaya.
Is that your child?
That's the one that called, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, there's a couple friends in there, or kids in there. Did they have friends over? I was gonna say when I came before, I think there were only 2 kids.
Oh, I
don't know how many you
my
have.
4 youngest here.
Gotcha.
And then the African American kid is my son's best friend.
Gotcha. Okay.
His mom's coming to pick him up. Oh, sorry, wait, hold on. Yeah, honey.
Should you maybe take KJ with you?
Yeah, I'm so scared of Kroy though.
Somebody else texted me that you should take KJ if he wants to go.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to play the game we did last time, okay?
Yeah, where he...
You're going to leave, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. There's a way to get in the house from here, correct?
Yeah.
Officer Ross is going to go with you.
Okay.
You're going to go grab whatever you want. We're going to keep Kroy out front. Go grab your debit card. Go
Yeah,
get whatever you want. Okay.
Okay.
Go grab your debit card, grab whatever you want. I want you to get in your car, and while we're here, you're going to leave while we're still here.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
So go with Officer Ross. Nope, that's fine. Just go with Officer Ross. We're going to do that. Okay? If you don't mind doing that, please.
Yeah, of course.
We're going to keep it outside. Because last time this happened, you tried to follow her.
Yeah, I understand.
Just keep it down, okay?
I'm gonna. It's a big dog.
Sid, let's go! Right now! Sid!
Yeah, I'll just stand by.
I'll go get a hotel room.
How come?
No, the twins can come if you want.
Kaya!
Oh my god, you're so dumb.
I mean, Papa,
You can come. Let me get my stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can. No, hold on. My dog's an idiot. Hold on.
Okay. I appreciate you.
Where is he? Back up. The big gray one. I don't know where he is.
Ready to go?
He might be outside of the bath. He's not going to go.
There's like a big grayish chocolate one. Yeah, he's huge. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he was nice, but he started running
I'll
up.
call myself and I'll call you back. I'm going to get myself a panty. Okay, love you, bye.
okay, let me take it.
You have like the greatest friends.
Important. You're planning on taking the kids with you?
I'll take
or
the twins.
The twins? Okay. Alright.
The one that called, thank God.
Gotcha.
Like, but she listened to it for an hour before she did, so. I think my head is so scattered. Get some water for us. I don't have any luggage here. It's all locked up because it just takes everything in line. Actually, my daughter has to leave. I'll be back with you.
1198 code 3.
Oh.
Here, guys.
Is there any pending calls?
Thanks. 39 on Francis Road.
Face wash. Yes. Deodorant because I'm profusely sweating.
What's that?
I said deodorant because I'm profusely sweating. I'm like, so sweat.
It's all good.
Pajamas. Let's go grab a bag of Go check it, baby. I can get this for you tomorrow. Okay, be quiet. Okay, you wanna help us? You wanna come?
Are my blankets still in the room?
Yes. I guess it's like a
Public
I just can't believe it's
yeah,
public. Like it's
no.
this is like
I understand. It's something else.
Kim is crying to the female cop and saying, our kids are home. How do you not stop? You know, Kim is saying she gets upset too. She's worried too. She has all the emotions too. But how do you not stop ranting and raving and acting this way when your kids are home? I mean, we shouldn't do it at all. The 15 minutes she's getting her stuff, she's saying the child had listened to this arguing for an hour before finally calling 911. Kim talks about she'd been profusely sweating. She talks about getting her pajamas and deodorant before going upstairs to the kids' room. This is the point where Kim is like, I don't know how or why it's like okay to use this footage. They're talking about the body cam video footage we're all watching. The cop explains it's public. You know, to me it's funny, like Kim wants to use the cops as her personal bodyguard. She wants to use the taxpayers' resources for her own good, the way she sees fit. Thank God she has them. Not all women who are in any type of situation like this get cops this great. But Kim wants to use it to her own benefit. She wants to use these taxpayer dollars, security, like her own personal errand boys and girls, but she doesn't want the body cam video footage to get out. And I get it. I mean, there are privacy concerns. Thank God they redacted it, but it's the law. You know, we pay for these body cam videos and we pay more. You know, some of us pay more, of course, if we're getting it to put it out there even more and report on it and study it. It's there for a reason. It's the law of the land. Certain states I read a great article, but certain states, they are more into privacy. Some of them will withhold certain things, but for the most part, the public records law exists for a reason. The Freedom of Information Act exists for a reason. So police can be accountable. So we can see how great these cops are, to see how well they're doing their job. I mean, give them all bonuses, I'm saying. They are handling this well. You know, they are well within their rights to take Kroy down almost the way he's been acting, but thank God they didn't. Gives him the opportunity, hopefully, to not harm anyone or anything like that, but just to perhaps see himself through this and change. There's a lot of benefit to these body cam video footage. Might I say it's not leaked? You'll see some people who say, leaked footage? How did cops get this? Why are cops selling this? I mean, I read the most ridiculous things for people who don't even understand the law of America, and they don't even, maybe they haven't heard of the Freedom of Information Act, and they don't know why it exists. It exists for a reason, to hold people accountable, and for people to not use the police unwisely, not to call them on a whim. You've heard crazy stories of people calling the cops because their Burger King wasn't done correctly. All of that. It's public footage.
And I don't think it was always that way, but
I think it's terrible on my kids, and I mean, that's fine, but he won't ever hurt you. He's
okay.
Don't put it out.
Good. How much longer?
I just gotta get it back.
Okay, perfect.
I want to come. She's been coming. My debit card came.
Gentle giant. Hey, buddy.
He's out for a lot more.
Yes, it's got a loud bark. The dog in this is here, by the way. He's confined. We're good. He's confined.
And like I told Kroy, obviously last time, the whole property thing, you guys gotta take that up with your lawyers.
I'm gonna go get my pillow, get my arm.
I know, but again, like I told you, you still gotta take it up with your lawyers.
Yeah, everything. I removed as much as I could of my clothes.
Okay.
What, Kaya?
She said she was grabbing something.
Oh, okay.
Was it his birthday recently?
Kroy?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, September 12th. I don't even know what month it is, guys. Like, I'm so.
It's November.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Let's see.
I like the little notes all over the place.
So I just took all mine down because our house is on the market. So I just took all like millions of mine down. I did keep those two, but it wasn't a lot. But
And the other kids are staying here?
yeah, I think the twin boy might come. He said he's maybe or something. He wanted to come.
Hey, is your brother coming with you or no? No, okay. Should be you as well? Okay.
He's not coming, Kaya?
Yeah, she said no, he's not coming.
Okay, okay.
It's just gonna be you and Kaya.
License. I didn't know what that was. What the hell is that? This charger. Kaya, you have my pillow?
You got a charger?
I
She got a charger.
Yeah, she got it.
Yeah, she's got it.
She said it is.
She's prepared.
Yeah, she's there. She's mine.
That's good.
My ladder and I over there. She's the one that called. Okay, that's it. This and I should get the pillow and come down.
All right. You're good. You weren't expecting us, I understand.
Is that it, the comforter's last thing?
Comforter's my pillow, that's it, yep.
Perfect.
Right.
We taking those bags in here
We'll just put
that are on the floor, that blue bag and that clear bag?
I need to put two things in there real quick.
Okay.
Alright, do that and then we can help carry some things out.
You guys, we can take the heavy things. I have like, take the Please.
You got it?
Kai, grab your water on the nightstand. Is she there still?
Yeah, she's right over here. All right.
Grab this water. Kai, I have the water. I want my car keys. Get out
Yes, ma'am. Grab the comforter, we'll walk you guys to the car. Look, you can get in your car and just head out, okay?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Trust me. But stay here till I get out.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna leave and then I'm gonna tell Kroy. I already told Kroy you're leaving for the night, so.
Okay. I was begging him to do that earlier.
Yep. So just go out the same way you came in by the garage, that way we can avoid the confrontation. And then just don't roll on your window or anything.
So I think I'll pick you up. And I will pick you up tonight. And you
I
can
don't
stay
know.
with me in
I'm
the
not gonna
hotel.
tell him anywhere else is going.
Okay, then I'll pick you up tomorrow. No problem. Okay.
Alright.
JJ can spend the night again if he wants.
He has to go to New York.
Oh, I gotta go to New York, huh? No, I'm leaving that fucking shit. I don't have my toothbrush or my toothpaste. Let me put this in the car. put her, just roll it up in there, yep, just like that.
Here's a pillow.
This one, you can pack it for thank you so much.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my
Toothpaste, and I need to get my toothbrush, because I was really kissing
Sorry.
I have to go do something. That means now. Not outside. Gentlemen, clean this up. Not in a condition like this.
1190 code for. Hey, it's just me. Alright. And it looks like he walked in the kitchen, so I'm just gonna make sure. Okay, there you go. Mm-hmm.
Right here,
Kitchen. This way? Alright, yeah, let's just go through the kitchen.
Yeah, go this way. Yep. Same one, same one.
Are they picking you up?
All right, you guys good? You're good. I'll probably need you back. All right, go ahead and go.
Love you.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Thanks guys for your help. Oh, I'm scared.
Yeah, sorry, I know, I'm just like hovering.
I go the other side because I keep you down. I don't have to. Thank you so much for your help.
It's no problem. You're so welcome. Don't worry about it.
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, you're good. You got it?
I got it.
Sweet. All right. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. All good.
So the cop is like, how much longer? Again, he's asking, because right at that point where Kim is blabbing and complaining about body cam footage, and might I say, it's not the body cam videos that are the problem. None of us, I guess, would want our lives put on blast like this, but we want to hopefully live our lives in a responsible enough way. And you know, many of us have been responsible, I get it, with money and all that. We want to live our lives in a way, hopefully to the point where we won't get to this deteriorated of a point in our marriage or our lives where cops have to be called, where there is body cam footage. I know none of us would want it blasted out there, but once the police are involved, it does become a matter of public record. So I think Kim is kind of projecting. She's blaming a lot, of course, on Kroy, on CTE. She might be right there. I don't know. You do hear her mention her gambling in previous body cam videos. You don't hear her taking a lot of responsibility for herself. Like, yes, she says, yeah, I gamble, who cares? So what? You know, I can make it all back. She's very flippant with it, and she's not addressing his feelings. And Kroy is saying, basically, I need somebody to effing listen to me, like he talked to the cop at first. So there needs to be a lot more responsibility. It's not just about the body cam video. It's about what are the billion other actions that took place prior to this that got them, both of them, to this point. Irresponsible spending. I've been there. Believe me, this is no judgment. There but for the grace of God go I. There but for the grace of God I'd be on somebody's body cam video. So that's not what I'm saying. But the cops help her. They help her with her pillow and her comforter, and that's when Kroy is like telling the gentleman, clean this stuff up. And one of the boys is, you know, has a friend spending the night. But Kroy has walked into the kitchen. At that point, the female officer is like, hold up, making sure, you know, guarding that he doesn't run into Kim. She's returned to the house to get her toothbrush and toothpaste, and the cop follows her out. And at one point, Kim was like, oh, you see how scared I am? Because the cop was kind of shadowing her. But that's it for now. The cop says, happy Thanksgiving. And that reminded me that surprisingly, it seems like they went on to have a great Thanksgiving. There was an Instagram video, you might have watched it in my previous video, if not, look back, where Kim, she's waxing nostalgic. First, she's showing off the spread. Kroy deep fried a turkey. There's all this great spread. I mean, Kroy seems like he cooked a lot of food. And then she is videotaping the china in her cabinet, and she's like, I just want to stare at it. So maybe she knows, okay, I gotta sell this china. She said she only used it once, maybe once when her and Kroy were first married. It's really fine china. Again, she's putting so much value in material things where maybe it makes her feel a certain way, but it's sad. So right after this, Monday, November 20th, the family celebrated Thanksgiving together. They were celebrating that Thursday, November 23rd. And then beyond there, she's still selling stuff on her new Instagram account and stuff, so I just hope it goes well. Isaiah 30:26, the light of the full moon will be like the light of the sun, and the light of the sun will be 7 times brighter, like the light of 7 days concentrated in one. In the day the Lord binds up the fracture of his people and heals the wounds he has inflicted because of their sins. Some of these verses have made me cry all morning this week. It's just so poignant as the sun was just shining through so brilliantly and beautifully over my shoulder. It just reminded me of there can be a time where things are like, and I'm sure it just feels so, like that for Kim and Kroy. But it reminded me after a little while, things will be on the up and up. So I know people are saying Kroy has every reason to be so pissed off, and so, yeah, he's lost it, he's at his brink, but I wish Kroy could lean on the everlasting rock, and Kim too. And it may sound crazy, but it really isn't that bad. Pray for your home to be sold, and then they can honestly pay off their debts. I know they feel insurmountable, but the home is not everything. And if a divorce has to go through, I mean, part of me still roots for this couple for some reason. I wish they could figure things out. But yeah, get your medical needs addressed. There's nothing wrong with Kroy getting an MRI or something. I know it's hard to diagnose CTE until after you're gone, so I don't know the latest science on all that, but the point is, it's not as bad as it seems. I know things seem horrible, but it's not worth, Kroy, you're not a man who's lost everything. No matter what, whether you stay married to Kim or not, you can move forward. All of them can get themselves help. Kim can get help with her spending and shopping addiction. Kroy can get help with anything else. If there are mental issues going on, nothing wrong with that. Pray for that home to be sold, and then the goods split everything's sold. We don't need a bunch of stuff. It can be more bare bones. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this Louis Vuitton, that designer this, designer that. You know, we can repeat outfits. It's fine, you know, who cares? Just get to the point of being loving co-parents, healthy, whole, and healed. And whether it means you guys split and, you know, move on, that's fine too. You know, Kroy can meet someone else. Kim can meet someone else. Maybe they can stay together, get some good, deep counseling. Who knows? Hopefully it doesn't lead to tragedy. Okay, thanks for sticking with me through all of this. We've got 2 down, 2 more to go. Let me get this edited and up and everything. And then by Sunday, I plan on starting to watch and edit the next 2 videos, get them up on Patreon first. If you want to go watch them first, just raw, real, straight out the gate and just everything there. And then my plan is to get the commentary in and upload the next set to YouTube after that. Thank you so much for always watching. Stay tuned. There's more body cam videos in the works. It takes some time. It takes money. Some of them I have to mail checks to, snail mail, and wait for stuff to get back and wait for jump drives and everything. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Thank you all so much.